Hey, what's up, riders? Glad you could make it. I did promise you now that something special or cool, what have you, would be happening in May, which is today. Actually, today is the 30th of April, and I'm kind of referencing the future. However, you're probably seeing this on the 1st, so I'll be continuing to refer to today as March 1st. And moving on, as you can see, we've got ourselves a little YouTube group. Now, as far as I know, not a lot of Street for Cash groups are implementing themselves within the social media realm, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. Maybe that'll get us up on the next level. Let me center myself here so I can reference the screen a little better. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in Street for the Cash. Now, I do believe that we get a forfeit button, and you may already know this if you're seeing this on the 1st. However, this has kind of been an ongoing rumor. I do see it on the first homepage of the Street for the Cash, but I've seen that before, to be honest. There are a bunch of pranksters. Anyway, you might be able to hear some thunder in the background. It's flooding down in Texas. Stevie Ray Vaughan would put it. And I'm going to try to talk over that, but you'll have to excuse the volume if you put the headphones in, not my problem. Anyway, good and bad things with the forfeit button. Obvious good thing is you can get yourself out of a dead pick. We've all been caught in those 4, 5, 10-hour reds that you see from the get-go. Good thing to get out of those, get into a new one that you really like, maybe one of your favorites, and you're just trying to squeeze in picks. This really is going to tend to help those that are going for the monthly challenge, or I guess that's what it's called. Those that are competing at flow or whatever, trying to get the most wins out of the month. That would definitely benefit them. However, if you're a little bit more busy with life in general, you're not going to be able to benefit much, and you might be kind of at a disadvantage because other people will be building while you're building a dream. Anyway, myself, I'll be sticking with the 1 or 2 picks a day, never getting anywhere, getting frustrated, but it's one love for all of it, and gonna keep at it, and never get my red star, never get my stash, but I got my boys here in group, and got some jokes to pull in the discussion, and we're all gonna live another day. Anyway, moving on. You may or may not have heard NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are on. They've hit the ice. I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am about this. As you know, I'm a diehard hockey fan. Not a lot of people in Texas vibe with that, so I kind of expressed this virally on Street for the Cash. Now, you'll have to excuse that, but I'm going to keep at it. And if you have not already, please do click up here towards your ESPN bar into the fantasy. Find the playoff challenge, the NHL Hockey Challenge for playoffs. Make yourself an entry. Draft yourself a team. Get a couple goalies. You're going to be at a bit of a point disadvantage by joining late, but it's just a great place to meet some good folks, have a good hockey discussion. Chances are no one there is going to win the ultimate challenge with the points, so just come on in. Not saying it's not possible. We do have a lot of great hockey personalities in there. It's just a numbers game. And I'd like to extend the invitation. You may have seen it within the group. If not, go back to the group page, scroll down a little bit. It's there, trust me. It's in bold-faced font. Anyway, it's called Stanley Bound. Do join. A few of the guys from Riders in there, a few ex-members, a few personalities you may recognize from the discussions are in there. Again, it's just a good place to be. Better place to be is on page 1, March 1st. As you can see, we got a little bit of soccer. I don't know much about it. I do know that Bayern Munich is by far and large the better team than Barcelona, despite what most public folks will tell you because they hear the name Barcelona and they're crazy about it. Now, the prop I can understand. Bayern Munich does have a 4-0, I believe, aggregate in this Champions League semifinal. That does tend to weight the scale towards Barcelona. However, like I said before, Bayern is an incredible team. Leagues above Barcelona in my imagination. I think they go for the draw here and they secure that. Then again, as I said also before, I don't know shit for turtles with soccer. And in other words, Barcelona wins 3-1. Good luck with all that. Got some baseball throughout the day. I'm still not very confident with that. It's early on. Some teams are streaking. I mean, fucking Astros, they're playing some ball, then doing the thing that everybody's expecting, and as well as some other teams. You got great teams doing bad teams doing great. Still too early in the season for me to be giving any sort of confident predictions in baseball, though it is one of my favorite sports, and we'll be getting into that. As far as what else is on the table, we got some NHL playoffs. The Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, this is going to be a great series. I really think the Toronto Maple Leafs are underrated. I think it's been about 6 seasons since they've been in the playoffs, and which is really hard to believe considering 16 of 30 teams make it to playoffs. It's ridiculous. Anyways, they're finally here. Congratulations, Maple Leafs fans. I know there's a lot of you out there. However, I do like Boston a lot in this series. I think they're going to be contenders in the conference. I think they're going to go at least to the semis. I think they'll run into a little trouble with Pittsburgh, which I'll get into later. But they're going to be all full speed ahead on this. And I do think that Boston's the correct pick in any matchup you see against the Maple Leafs. No offense, Leaf fans. You got a great team going. I really hope the best for you. But as far as circles and squares, you got to go with Boston Bruins here. They just got the depth. They've got the attack. They've got the thirst that they've had all season. Not to take away from the hunger that the Leafs have, but I mean, when it comes down to thirst or hunger, fact is you can go days without food. You can only go, I said that wrong. You can go weeks without food, days without water. Thirst is more important. Boston. Moving on, we got a little bit of the NBA playoffs now. Don't really know much about that either. I do know that the Houston Rockets did manage to pull out a win against OKC and force the game back into Oklahoma. I did notice there's a prop on there that OKC wins by double digits in what has been a series of a few close games lately. However, even as a Rockets homer, I cannot advise anybody to take the Rockets by SPL on this one. Rockets don't even belong in the playoffs. I feel a little guilty saying that, but I'm just being honest with you. OKC is leagues above the Rockets. They got the cohesion, they got the upfront talent, they got the height. Really, Rockets are one of those teams that just fucking shoot. They need you to miss your shots, and Oklahoma doesn't make a habit of missing their shots, and I think they're going to win by double digits. They're going to go ahead and secure the series and move on and twiddle their thumbs until it's time to go. Rockets, pack the bags. As I mentioned before, I was going to get into the Penguins. They are playing the Islanders in the first round of playoffs, and I really do like the Penguins to advance, as I kind of hinted earlier. Probably going to do it in about 5 games. I was leaning towards the sweep, but then I remember, Islanders have been cool cats all season long. I mean, they got Mollison, they got Tavares, who's been on fire. And speaking of on fire, Nabokov has been on key all season long. He's a very underrated goalie. Eat your heart out. I really think that the Penguins take it. 2 goals is kind of pushing it. This is NHL after all. You won't see a lot of that being done except for maybe Chicago to Minnesota, which is a huge mismatch. I'm going to be taking Chicago to win by 2 tonight, last night, depending on if you're me or you. Anyway, I would not take the Islanders. And by would not take the Islanders, I would take the Islanders to win or lose by 1. As you can remember, the last season, Penguins and Flyers kind of got into a shootout every game in the season, or in the series. No defense, no goaltending. Flyers ended up taking the series with some games with 20 goals. Penguins do have a better defensive unit this year. I do think they secure it and they go to the finals. I see them and Chicago in the finals. Don't quote me on that, but quote me on that. Moving on, we do have the San Jose Sharks visiting the Vancouver Canucks. I got about 30 seconds left in the video, so I'm just going to touch on this lightly. Vancouver has one of the best home advantages in any NHL that cannot be understated. What can also overstated. What cannot also be overstated is that San Jose, hands down, has the worst road record out of all the playoff teams. Fucking up. Anyway, I do think San Jose takes the series. Both teams are really aching for a win to hold up that cup. I think San Jose has the talent. Niemi is kind of streaky. Luongo and Schneider, they got something to work out, but Luongo shoots the bed every time. Take the Sharks. See ya. Oh shit, I thought it was 10. Okay, anyways, good. Plenty of time to keep talking to you. Thank you for staying here. You're going to be thinking this guy's a douche. Anyway, like I said, Niemi's a streaky goalie. He's one of the best. I believe he has the best GAA. Maybe Anderson has that for Ottawa, who will be featured later, I'm sure. But Niemi, he holds the team down. Whereas, on the flip side, Vancouver, they got Luongo and Schneider. As you may have seen, Schneider's been out injured for a while. I think he's going to be back for the playoffs. Could be starting in game one. If I was coach, I'd put Luongo in first game. Basically because he shit the bed the last 2 times he was out, and most of the time he's ever been in the playoffs. I believe his last game was something like 8-3 to the Edmonton Oilers. Now, granted, Oilers can pack a punch. They got some great offensive talent. They're going to be good next year. However, 8 goals is unacceptable for your last game of the season when you're looking forward to playoffs. You can make the argument that the team let them down in front of them, not putting up the blocks, not getting the right hits, but when it comes down to it, you let 8 pucks slide past you into the net, something's wrong there. I mean, like I said, if I was coach, I'd put Luongo at first, see if he shits the bed or not, which he will, and then play Schneider the rest of the time. Who knows? Like I said before, it's hockey, anything can happen. Last year, Kings went from the last seed to the Stanley Cup champions. So, like I will not ever stop saying anything can happen. But as far as this game goes, I would take the Canucks, even though I do think San Jose takes it in 6 games. I think Canucks will take it and make a statement game in this first one, letting them know, we're in our hometown. You suck on the road. Really, Canucks have to win at least one, if not both of these games, to stand a chance at all. San Jose is going to win both. In San Jose, I'll say that here and now. The series will be 3-1 when it goes back to Vancouver. Bold statement, I know. But anyway, those are my picks. I'd go with Vancouver, go with Thunder, I'd go with Islanders, Boston Bruins, probably a solid pick too. That's probably one I'm going with. And, what I'd like to do is get a few of you in here. I'm going to try my hardest to do this every day, but I can hardly even make picks every day sometimes. So I'm going to give a few of you some admin privileges. It'd be pretty cool to get a lot of you in here if we can all trust each other to upload our own videos. That way we put face with a name, get to hear our voices, and no homo or anything, but I think it really liven up things. Anyways, on the days if I can't post a video, I'd like to know, rest assured, that someone else is going to be putting up a video and taking care of the guys here in Riders. I think it's a fantastic group. It's got a lot of potential, a lot of spunk. I would really like what you have to say in the discussions. Some of you, you know who I'm talking about, need to speak up a little bit more. Really miss you. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like it. Do subscribe below, because that way you'll know and you find our videos as soon as they come out. Leave comments, thumbs it up if you like it. Don't thumbs it down, I'm going to fucking hunt you down. Because, love you. See you next time.